let's go over the starters quick. And
okay.
Then we'll probably get to the national anthem and then.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southard at the Raiders Sports Complex homecoming and the homecoming festivities prior to kickoff. History and congratulations go out to the Frontenac football homecoming 2017 Queen, Hope Coleman, and the king is K.W. Hale. So we got all the festivities done. Now it's time for some football, and with the starting lineups for tonight's game between the Frontenac Raiders and the Riverton Rams, Randy Southard.
For the Riverton Rams on offense, across the offensive line, sophomore Brandon Nielsen, sophomore Patrick McLaughlin, senior Chris McLaughlin, Jared McMaster, and sophomore Trevor Parsons. The tight end is junior Matt Teal. The wide receiver is junior Tyler Larison. The two wingbacks are junior Will Schauber and sophomore Ethan Schauber. The starting running back is sophomore Gavin Gilmore, and the starting quarterback is senior Max Boney. For the Frontenac Raiders on defense, the two tackles are senior Trey Harris and senior Andrew Mays. Two defensive ends, senior Brock Ginnivan and senior Cal Strand. Two middle linebackers, junior Gage Clothier and senior Jordan Ishimura. Two cornerbacks, junior Brendan Ishimura and junior Riley McDaniel. At the two safety positions, sophomore Alex Johnson, senior Cooper Loy, and the free safety, senior Jake Wilbur.
And the starting lineups for tonight's Frontenac Riverton game. The Raiders now entering the field, and the Raiders come in with that 1-2 mark, and coming off that 20-0 shutout loss at Colgan this last Thursday, and the Riverton Rams at 0-3, and they're coming off that 61-0 shutout loss to Coffeyville. So it should be an interesting contest, and the Raiders trying to right the ship, and the Rams trying to get some momentum going, and nice crowd for homecoming, and all the activities are history, and now we're getting close to kickoff in football, and the Raiders in their home black jerseys, black pants, black helmets with white numerals and trim, and the Rams will be in their visiting white jerseys with kind of the gold numbers that make it really hard to see during the contest, and and also the blue, and this is one of those games, and you listen to the interviews. Mark, it's been a long week for all Raiders fans, and you listen to the Rams coach, Johnny Mallett has been around a long time. How can you not, look forward to him working with your kids, because he is so positive, and he has a direction, been in it for years, and it looks like he's heading in the right direction.
Absolutely, and if you noticed in the starting lineups how many sophomores and a few juniors, there's only one or two seniors in the starting offensive line right now. So if he can keep everybody coming out, the future could be bright for Riverton.
Okay, we'll take a 2-minute break and be back with kickoff. 2 minutes, you're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM.
From a qualified and caring staff, services like one-time visits, med-tech programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program, and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medication right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations.
Real financial challenge. What's yours? At Commerce Bank, we find solutions so you can focus on enjoyment.
And national anthem by the Frontenac Raider Marching Band, and I guess it is about the juncture where we check out the keys to the game between tonight's game, Riverton at Frontenac, and Randy Southern has those.
Well, for the Riverton Rains tonight on offense, they're going to come at you with the wing tee and heavy on the run. He's an experienced quarterback. But, you heard the coach in the interviews mention he hasn't had a lot of time. That's true. So the passing game's been pretty non-existent for him. They do pull a lot, and so they're going to want to pound away on offense. They do have some size up front. Try to wear down the Raider defense and get their yards on the ground. Defensively for Riverton, they have really struggled tackling, especially in the open field. They've got to tackle better tonight if they have any chance against this Raider offense. For the Frontenac Raiders on offense, I think it's almost the same thing. They need to get the running game going. We've not been able to run the ball the last 2 weeks basically at all. I think tonight is all about the offensive line starting to get on some people and getting some blocks and opening up some holes. That will allow the passing game to be much more effective because it can be much more unpredictable. Defensively for the Raiders against this wing tee, again, they do quite a bit of the misdirection stuff. They do pull a lot of the guards, so you might see linebackers actually reading guards, but you got to stay disciplined. You got to stay home because they'll fake one way, come back at you the other way, bootlegs, stuff like that. So everybody has to stay home and do their job on defense.
So those are the keys to tonight's game. And again, a reminder that all Raiders contests home and away right here on 103.5 FM. And you can stream the contest live at ESPN1007.com. We also have Pittsburgh there, also Colgan, and also Girard. You can check out the video if you, in addition to the audio. And the Rams coming out now, again, in their white jerseys with golden numerals. They got the blue pants and the gold helmets. And, boy, you look at the size, you're probably talking with injuries and like maybe 22 kids out there right now. So numbers are down and also the injuries. Now, warm night like tonight, it seems it's been warm most of the season, but it really seems sticky tonight. We'll see how maybe the cramping thing comes in on some of these student athletes.
Yeah, and you almost have to feel for Riverton a little bit. They've got 7 seniors. They got at least 3 of them, if not 4 of them, standing over there in jeans, walking the sideline out for tonight's game. So the injury bug has definitely hit them. And boy, when you don't have a lot of numbers to begin with, that injury bug is a real killer.
And the captains to the middle of the field for the Riverton Rams, Michael McGann, also Max Boney, and Nick Huffman. For the Frontenac Raiders, Brock Ginnivan, along with Peyton Brown, Jordan Ishamira, and Cal Strand. And again, homecoming, congratulations going out to Queen Hope Coleman and King K.W. Hale. And of course, that's one of the weeks that the coaches kind of dread distractions with the homecoming, but they had more on their minds than worried about the homecoming activities, and they had an extra day to do it. So we'll see how the Raiders react early in this one.
Yeah, and homecoming makes me nervous every year as well. And in years past, it's been against some stiffer competition than what the Raiders have tonight. So that might be one positive thing. It's homecoming. And Riverton is playing hard, but they're just not. They're young and they're just not as talented right now. So it's probably the best case scenario for a Raider team that needs a win, needs to play well, and the distractions of homecoming shouldn't be as big a deal.
And the Raiders will have the football to start things, and I think that might be the way Coach Mark Smith wanted it after the offensive struggles last week. Take the football and see if you can put some points on the board early.
Oh, absolutely. We want to get that ball and get that offense going after last week in particular. Offense wasn't...
So we're about ready for the start of homecoming. Girard and Galena going at it tonight. So a lot of interesting contests in the area, and that's just on the Kansas side. They got a lot of big games over on the Missouri side going too. So I thought we were taking the ball, but I thought at the other end. Yeah, they're catching it now. Okay, that's what I thought. We were getting the football kick for the Frontenac Raiders, who's handling the kicking duties for the Rams. Leave that to my color man to come up with a number there.
We'll apologize now, folks, because these numbers are just about impossible to see on a jersey, and especially when the sun's still out. So,
is that Ethan Schauber?
I believe so.
Has it teed up at the 40, so we're ready. This CNC League clash between the Rams and the Raiders, an onside kick, and takes a couple hops and wisely falling on it. That was K. Chastain. Kneels at the 36-yard line.
Well, it might seem like not a big deal, but the front lineman, one of the first guys on that front row, could have probably tried to take a stab at the ball, but very wisely let the ball go, let the more sure-handed player in the backfield make the play.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Frontenac Raiders. They'll start from their own 36-yard line. Out wide left goes Brock Gidman. In the slot to the left is Brennan Ishamira. Out of the gun, Peyton Brown. Couple blocking backs with him. They give it to the tailback, Jake Wilbert, on the left side. He shakes a couple of tackles, and he's collared and brought down out about the 41, maybe the 42-yard line, so a good gain on first down.
And starting out that running game, I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight. And already one missed tackle. Really, this play probably should have been stoned at the line of scrimmage, but good hard running by Wilbert, able to break a tackle and gain good game for first down, setting up a second and very manageable. Playbook's wide open.
2nd and 5 for the Raiders from their own 42-yard line. This time wide right comes Kay Chastain. Wide to the left goes Grant Hessong out of the gun, option right side, and the pitch to Cooper Loy, and he dives out to near the 43, maybe the 44-yard line for a short gain of a couple.
Well, good hustle. Gavin Gilmore from the middle linebacker spot. He ran all the way to the sideline to catch Lawyer. He probably has a big gain. But a nice pitch, good play, get to the outside, and I'm glad to see Cooper Loy get his hands on the ball. He's done an excellent job blocking so far this year. I think tonight he may get quite a few more carries as well.
Raiders face a 3rd and 2 from their own 44-yard line. This time, wideouts to both sides. Brown, the quarterback, there's a give to Wilbert, and boy, he can't avoid the tackler in the backfield, and he is brought down and lost a couple.
Yeah, Ethan Shawver came on the blitz from the middle linebacker spot and just ran right into the play, came on the blitz untouched.
So punting situation early here for the Raiders as they face a 4th and 3 from their own 43-yard line. Trey Harris back to punt. Back to receive the kick is 20. Nice coverage there by Brendan Ishimura. And the Rams will start 1st and 10 from, well, they're going to put it back at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, he took a really good angle to the ball, kind of kept some outside leverage, and a good form tackle right into the thighs. Real nice coverage.
So 1st and 10 Rams, they'll start from their own 19-yard line. Again, the quarterback, Max Boney, a 5'11", 155-pound senior. And again, the fullback lining up behind Boney is Gavin Gilmore. Looking sophomore, also another running back there in motion left to right, the wing back. And there's a give straight up the middle, nothing doing. Boy, gang tackle, and I believe that was Gilmore who tried the middle, and there was nothing there.
Yeah, Andrew Mays got good penetration up front. The Raiders going with more of a 5-3 look on that first play, putting another man on.
From their own 18-yard line now. Again, Gilmore, the fullback, behind the quarterback, Boney. Slot left side in motion, left to right, rolling, looking to throw, pressure. Ginnivan pressures the quarterback, and he slings him down back about the 8-yard line. When nothing going there, and good pressure by Boyd Ginnivan off the end, and also, is that Mays in there also?
I think so, and Ginnivan able to just grab him by the jersey, it looked like, and just would not let go, spun him around for the big sack. But I'm a little surprised they went with the kind of the bootleg pass action on the second play of the game.
3rd and 20 for the Rams from their own 9-yard line. Wide out to the left side. Slot to the right. Couple of running backs. And now some movement. No penalty flag. And they're going to give it and try the right side and dive it out across the 10. I believe on that carry that time was Ethan Shawver, and a short gain of a couple.
Yeah, it looked like they might have had something going on, but I think it was Cooper Loy from that weak safety outside linebacker position was able to knife in and get into the legs and cut him down.
So a punting situation. 4th and long for the Rams from their own 10-yard line. Have to receive the kick for the Raiders is Jake Wilbert. He stands at the 41 of the Rams. Good snap, punt away, short punt toward the far sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds, and the Raiders are going to have excellent field position for their second offensive possession.
We'll see where they end up marking this. I think it's going to be inside the 30-yard line. Or right at the 30. 31.
They're going to the 31. So the Raiders will start 1st and 10 from the Rams' 31-yard line with 8:14 left here in the scoreless first quarter. The Raiders can get something going offensively. Is coming wide to the right's Ginnivan. Slot to the right is Wilbert. Wide left goes Ishimura. Out of the gun. That's Brown. Walking back to his left is Loy. Motion right to left is Wilbert. And a quick hitch to Ginnivan. It's complete. The defender falls down. He shakes the defender, and Ginnivan's going to take it in for the score.
I'll tell you, they leave him one-on-one. It's a huge, big mismatch in size. just the quick hitter. It's one-on-one, giving shakes, makes a move to the outside, and ends up scoring untouched. So taking advantage of the size difference, but also just, again, I mentioned in the pregame, open field tackling been an issue for Riverton that shows up right there.
And the defender, like I said, was off and then kind of slipped, and then that was the kiss of death right there as Gidovic took it for the 31-yard pitch and catch from Brown. And the kick is up, the extra point, and it is good. We're at 8:06 left first quarter. Frontenac 7, Riverton nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM. And Trey Harris's low line drive kick taken by the upback Gilmore, and he's able to fight his way out to the 35-yard line. It's a good starting position for the Rams for their second offensive possession.
Yeah, maybe mishit that kick a little bit. A low line drive. Normally Harris hits it pretty high and pretty deep, but the fullback ends up taking the ball, and yeah, pretty decent field position.
Now she's going to mark it at the 34-yard line. That's where Riverton will start, 1st and 10. And again with Max Boney under the center with Gilmore running back behind him. Oliver motion left to right, and there's a hit, and it's going to be picked off by Ishamir, and he has clear sailing along the near sideline. He's going to take it in for the pick 6.
Wow, and I tell you, they tried just the quick hitch, but not a real big cushion by Ishamir. He had maybe 7 yards off the ball, and as the receiver started to make his route, Ishamir never moved. He never went into a back pedal, so he only had to take about 2 steps forward to be able to step in front of the receiver. Good play by Ishamir and pretty easy pick 6.
And the extra point attempt coming off the foot of Trey Harris out of the hold of Jake Wilbert. And the Raiders trying to add to that 13-0 lead with 7:52 left here in the first quarter. Good snap. Wilbert gets it down. Harris gets it up. And he drills it. 7:52 left first quarter. Frontenac 14, Riverton nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM.
Harris to kick off for the Raiders. Kirby back to receive for the Rams. Let's get up and make some noise for the kickoff.
And the kickoff by Trey Harris, taken by Gage Kirby, and he's able to fight his way out across the 20 out near the, see where they mark it, the 23-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Rams. And their own 23 with 7:46 left here in the first quarter in Frontenac, the 14-0 lead.
A quick scoring update. Columbus returned to Colgan fumble for a touchdown. Columbus up 8-0 in the first quarter.
So 1st and 10 Rams from their own 23-yard line. Now split backs behind Boney. And there's a give and trying to the outside. Nothing doing there is, oh boy.
But Brock Ginnivan got to
tried the right side.
Yeah, Brock Ginnivan, excellent penetration. He ran right into it, put a good smack on him. Cooper Lloyd coming in as well and adding to the hit. But that was a pretty big hit out there that time.
So a 7-yard loss. A couple carries -5 for Schauber. And the Rams face a 2nd and called 17 from their own 16-yard line. And there's a give straight up the middle. Nothing doing there. There's a few tacklers in there stopping the fullback Gilmore before he got going.
Yeah, and Mays and Gage Clothier. Clothier with a really good read this time. He's a junior that has at times struggled just a little bit in his first year starting for the defense, but that time a really nice read, good fill. Stopped that one right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and about 18, looks like, for the Rams from their own 15-yard line. And there's a give, kind of a lay counter up the middle, nothing doing. Gang tackled back, back about the 13-yard line, loss of a couple.
And right now, the Riverton offensive line is not really able to handle the defensive line for Frontenac. Lots of penetration and pushing that line of scrimmage backwards.
So 4th and 20 for the Rams from their own 13-yard line. Punting situation. Jake Wilbur back to receive the kick for the Raiders. And a good snap. Punt away. And again toward the far side. And it's again going to go, well, it stayed in. And Wilbur picks it up and takes it inside the 40. And then he is tackled after a gain of a couple. It looked like it was going out of bounds. Some of the Ram coverage that let up a little bit. So Wilbur took it. Maybe got a couple yards out of it and slowed down at the Riverton 40-yard line.
I would say these are directional punts, I think, for sure. Both punts on that far sideline, trying to limit where the ball carrier can go because, again, some struggles in the in open field tackling for Riverton. So that's good coaching, to work on some directional kicking and try to limit the field.
Raiders 1st and 10 from the Rams 40-yard line. Running backs in the eye behind quarterback Peyton Brown. And he lost the snap and is able to recover it back at the 41, lost a yard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the ball didn't get up or Peyton came out early. Now we do have a new center tonight, Jordan Ishimura come in. He played a little bit against Colgan last week in the 4th quarter, filling in for the injury. So, maybe just not getting as many reps so far this year in the fumbled snap.
5.5 minutes left first quarter. Frontenac 14-0 lead. Raiders with a 2nd and 11 from the Rams 41-yard line. Hessong split wide right. Slot to the right is Wilbert. Wide left Chastain, and there is Brown with the direct snaps. Going to keep it, try the left side, and actually falls inside the 40 down about the 37-yard line. So a good effort there by Brown to pick up about 4 yards.
Yeah, tried to bounce it to the outside, and I thought initially they had a pretty decent hole up the middle, but he chose to try to bounce it and was able to pick up a few.
So the Raiders going to face a 3rd and 8 from the Rams' 38-yard line.
I do like to see a called run for Peyton, though, because he's rolled out a lot this year and not chosen to take off running with the ball when maybe at times he could have. He's chosen to throw it. So maybe that's Coach Smith, instilling that, hey, let's try to run the ball a little bit more from the quarterback position.
Brown out of the gun. Blockers to both sides. Dropping the pass. Has plenty of time. Pumps. Got a man open. That's Ginnivan, who again beat the defender. Makes the catch at the 5 and steps in for the score.
And Ginnivan with a really nice route. So last series they go with the quick throw and are able to take advantage of a big cushion. This time they're up a little bit. He runs an out pattern at first. Quarterback comes right up on him. He turns it up the field. The safety's all the way in the middle of the field, has no chance of getting over to it. And it's an easy throw and catch for Ginnivan for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
This one a 38-yard score. Extra point attempt by Trey Harris out of Jake Wilbert's hold. Good snap, gets it down. Again, plenty of length. And it is good. 4:28 left in the first quarter. Frontenac 21, Riverton nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to High School Football on 103.5 FM.
some noise for the kickoff.
Rob Strand, Randy Southard back at the Raiders Sports Complex. 4:28 left first quarter. Frontenac 21, Riverton nothing. The Raiders to kick off. Trey Harris teeing it up at the 40, back to receive the kick for the Rams as Gage Kirby stands back at his 5. Again, a low line drive, takes a couple of hops. Kirby fields it about the 12, brings it up the middle across the 20, and then he is hemmed in and brought down about the 22-yard line.
Yeah, excellent coverage. Mays hustling down really hard. Roseboro getting in on it. Hayden Pyle in on that as well. Good coverage by the Raiders.
1st and 10 Rams. They'll start from their own 22-yard line with 4:22 left here in the first quarter. And Frontenac the 21-0 lead. Quick start for the Raiders. Kirby out wide left, slot to the left, that is Shawver. And there is a give and coming near side, and boy is hemmed in and brought down.
And that's Gage Clothier again, and this is excellent team defense. Defensive line had everything stuffed up the middle. You had the outside linebacker and Cooper Lloyd come up with outside leverage, force the play inside. You had the linebacker come and fill the hole perfectly right at the line of scrimmage. Gage Clothier gets the tackle, but excellent team defense, doing it exactly how Coach Palumbo draws it up.
So 2nd and 10 for the Rams. In their own 23-yard line, and there's a give, and this time trying the right side, Shawver again, and he is hemmed in and brought down. Good penetration there by Mays once again. Clothier, they had a crew over there, and thrown for a loss of about 3.
Yeah, Andrew Mays right now feeling his oats a little bit. He seems to be in on every single tackle.
3rd and 13 for the Rams from their own 19-yard line. Clock moving, 3:23 left first quarter. Frontenac 21-0 lead. Again, Boney, the quarterback, under the center. Behind him, Gilmore, the running back, slots to both sides. Motion right to left. Looking to throw. Goes far sideline, puts it up, and he has the defender beat, but it's a little too tall, as this time they tried to go long, and he had to step on the defender.
Well, and it's just a straight fly pattern, and McDaniel just stayed, the corner on the far side, just stayed in his back pedal, maybe 1 or 2 steps too long. Was able to turn around and start to close, but certainly did have a step. Just needs to open up those hips a little quicker and run with the receiver.
So a punting situation. Good snap. In the punt away. Again to the far side. And coming up to make the catch, and that is Rayo, and he breaks the first few tackles and is able to fight his way down near the 43-yard line of the Rams. So nice return by Rayo. Ryan Rayo, he's a sophomore back there instead of Wilbert that time on the return. Did a good job, and the Raiders will start 1st and 10 from the Rams 43 with 2:53 left first quarter in Frontenac, 21-0.
I tell you, that one did make me a little bit nervous, though. The defender was a little closer than when Wilbert did it on the last punt, but Rayo was sure-handed enough to hold on to the ball.
Wide to right goes Ginneman, slot right Ishamir, tight to the left is Roseboro, running backs in the eye behind Brown. Lloyd, the fullback, the tailback, Wilbert. He busts ones up the middle inside the 35, down to the 30. Got tripped up and went down after picking up 13, or more than that. We had close to 15 yards on that carry.
Yeah, and he had a really nice hole right side of the offensive line. Got a really good hole for him. And just got tripped up, or he'd have been one-on-one probably with the free safety, and he could have been gone.
1st and 10 Raiders from the Rams 30-yard line, down to 2:40 left first quarter in front, like the 21-0 lead. Wide left goes Hessong. Coming wide right is Chastain, slot right. Wilbert out of the gun, Brown. Single setback behind him is Loy. And there's a give, Loy, left side, and he's got some yardage. Still on his feet after picking up 5, maybe 6 yards down close to the 24-yard line.
Good hard running that time by Loy. I thought the line did a pretty decent job of getting him about a yard or 2 push, and then it was just good hard running, breaking a couple of tackles for Loy to pick up the 6.
2nd down Raiders. Football resting at the Rams 25-yard line, down to 2 minutes left first quarter, and Frontenac with that 21-0 lead on homecoming. Ginneman comes wide right. Ishamir in the slot to the right. Tight left. Roseboro running backs in the eye with Lloyd the fullback. Wilbert the tailback. Brown under the center. And rolling right. Looking to throw. Pumps. Has a man open. Oh, thrown behind the intended receiver. Lloyd out of the backfield and falls incomplete.
Yeah, and he had two choices there. He could have either thrown it up high and get to Ginnivan in the end zone and see if the big man could go up and get it, but I think he made the right choice going to Loy in the flat. Just, like I say, threw it a little bit behind him. Loy had to try to spin around to catch it, kind of lost his balance, and the ball fell incomplete.
So that's called a 3rd and 5. Raiders from the Rams' 25-yard line. Down to a minute 39 left first quarter. Frontenac had a 3-score lead, 21-0. Chastain wide right, Wilbert slot right, wide left goes Hessong. Out of the gun, Brown with Loy, the blocking back to his left. Snap. Has some time, going, got a man open, it's thrown behind him and picked off. And returning near side, and he brought down. Penalty flag is down. One of the Raiders is down also, and a nice effort there by, I believe that was that Curry made that pick?
I think so, and he was playing corner on the far side, and Roseboro, the tight end, was going across the field and was open initially. Brown threw this one just a little bit late. It was a good read by the corner to come off of his man, come over and make the pick. The flag is, I believe it's going to be post-interception, a block in the back, so they're going to move the ball back, but Riverton should keep the ball.
So the first turnover by the Raiders. Both teams have thrown an interception. The Rams was a pick 6. We'll have a nice return, and again a block in the back, and Rams will be forced to start 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line with a minute 26 left first quarter.
No one wants to stop.
No. I mean, fuck. And after the turnover, the Rams 1st and 10 from their own 21. There's a give to Gilmore right side. He picks up a yard before he's thrown down, and Riverton will face a 2nd and 9. Football shy their own 22-yard line. And there's a give coming left side this time, and boy, nothing doing there. Tackler's in there as that was Clothier again. Got some good penetration. Mays again, and boy, nothing doing.
Yeah, and a really good read and react. Filled the hole, make the play at the line or in the backfield. Clothier having a real nice first quarter here, and good to see him show some emotion out there as well. Again, he's had a couple of struggles, so good to see him not only play well but be excited about it.
So 3rd and 11 for the Rams. Football inside their own 20-yard line. They got a wing to both sides with Gilmore, the fullback, behind Loney, the quarterback. Motion left to right goes Schaufer, looking to throw. A little wheel route out of the backfield, and he is open, but it's underthrown and falls incomplete. Boy, he had him open. He had a bit behind a couple of defenders, and just couldn't come up with a throw that was maybe a little too much air under it.
Yeah, basically coming out of the backfield, running that wheel route, and just got lost. And the Raiders are already doing some substitutions on defense, and that was one of the substitutes. It was his man, lost sight of him, and it was open. Luckily, the ball underthrown.
So a 4th and 11 Rams from their own 20 with 12 seconds left first quarter, and trying to make a 21-0 lead. Riverton to punt. Wilbert back now to receive this kick. Good snap. Kicks away. High, short, fair catch call for. Wilbert makes it at the 45-yard line of the Rams, so that's where Frontenac will start 1st and 10 from the Riverton 45-yard line with only 6 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Frontenac leading at 21-0. And see if the Raiders can, after that interception on the end of the last drive, see if they can get something together here and add to this 21-0 lead.
Yeah, a couple scoring updates. Colgan has tied it up against Columbus. Both defenses have scored in this game, 8-8. And then Pittsburgh right now down to Fort Scott, 7-6.
So 1st and 10, Raiders from the Rams 45-yard line. Backs in the eye behind Brown. There's a give it to Tabak. Boy, and Wilbert's got some room, needs a block. Cuts inside the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and he's going to go. Good blocking. He had a huge hold, then cut back and went the distance.
And that's the type of blocking we've been looking for all year long. Every man on a hat, huge hole on the right side of the line, everything pushed down to the inside, get a seal on the outside. Ishimura with a really good stock block, the wide receiver, great stock block on the outside. He was one-on-one with the free safety, beat him, and went all the way.
So the Raiders try to add to their 27-0 lead and the extra point. Trey Harris in there. Wilber's hold. He gets it down. Some penetration, but he gets the kick up, and it is no good wide right. So that is the end of the first quarter. Frontenac leads Riverton 27-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to High School Football on 103.5 FM.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you've become part of something more.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong
at Pittsburgh State University.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southern. Second quarter here at Raiders Sports Complex. The Frontenac Raiders lead the Riverton Rams 27-0 on homecoming. And again, congratulations to Queen Hope Coleman and King K.W. Hale. Got the festivities done prior to kickoff. And, of course, have a little dance. That's where Randy Southern used to shine at Frontenac High School to dance for after homecoming. But I know, Coach Mark Smith's got to be pleased. Maybe, I guess, the interception, maybe, but that's, other than that, been throwing the ball well, and looks like it came to play tonight.
So far, I'd say yes. I was happy to see the run game get a big play there because everything else has been through the air. The running game's been okay, but not big holes. This time, they finally get that perfectly blocked play. Good to see that out of that offensive line.
So kicking off is Trey Harris, has it teed up in the 40 and back to receive the kick. Again, Gage Kirby, 6'1", 155, is senior. A few seniors out there on the field for the Rams. We said a few of those injured, not many to begin with. And high end over end, Kirby's going to take it right at the 5. Up the middle of 10, 15, starts toward the near side, shakes the first wave of tacklers. Boy, it looked like, anyway, he's wrestled down at the 25. Had one of the Raiders engaged. It looked like maybe he was getting a little push from the back, but I didn't see.
Yeah, that was Riley McDaniel making a really nice play on the coverage because he was it. Basically, if McDaniel doesn't make this tackle, he's down the sideline and going to go for a really long way. Did a good job with outside leverage to turn him back in, got him right around the legs, good wrap up, taking him down. Nice play.
So 1st and 10 for the Rams. They'll start from their own 25-yard line. Again, the quarterback is Max Boney. He's a senior under the center. Gilmore, fullback behind him. Wings to both sides, and there's a give. Losing the football, and there's a scramble. It's still loose, and it looks like one of the Rams was able to get on it.
Yeah, it popped out late, almost like a second time. And I'm not sure which Ram got back on it, but boy, big loss on first down.
Yeah, as you're talking a loss of about 8, I believe that was Will Shaver who had it. Actually, wasn't clean, the handoff, and it went to the turf. Raiders had a shot at it, couldn't come up with it. Riverton face a first and about 16 from the 17-yard line. It gives straight up the middle, nothing much there.
Get good assignment football this time because it looks like this play's going to go out wide, but they try to sneak the fullback right up the middle, and the Clothier would have nothing to do with it. Reading his man, saw the fullback coming forward, he filled it right at the line of scrimmage. Another good play by Clothier.
So we're down 3rd and about 17 for the Rams from their 18-yard line. Wide out to the left side again. Under the center. And with the football trying the left side, and boy, a couple of tough yards before one of the Rams, the ball carrier, got tattooed on that. I couldn't pick up the number.
Yeah, that was the quarterback on a bootleg.
Keeping it.
Yeah, they fake it to the right, and he comes back out. They pull a guard the lead block in front of him. Really, it's more of a pass play, but he kind of put his hand behind the guard saying, lead the way. Well, the two Raider defenders came in from the sides and were able to get on him, and so a good defensive play after it looked like he had something.
Punting situation. I am back to receive it. And is Ishimura takes it at the 48 of the Raiders, comes near side, has some room.
Yeah, and
back at the 37.
I don't know if it's a block in the back or if it's more of a hold. This is why they haven't been kicking the ball right down the middle of the field. I mean, just so much green out there, and Ishimura take advantage of it. The penalty really kind of unnecessary. He probably had the man beat to the outside as it was, but this one is going to come way back.
And he got it down to the 10-yard line, did Ishimura, but again, the hold is the call. So they'll mark it, flags at the 37 of the Rams with 9:53 left here in the first half, and Frontenac 27-0 lead. Trying to keep you updated on some of the other action in the area. And got some big games. Southeast Kansas on this Friday. And after the mark-off, Frontenac will start 1st and 10. Raiders from the Rams' 47-yard line.
1st and 10 Raiders, ball be placed at the 47-yard line.
Brown, senior quarterback, out of the gun, flanked by a couple of blockers, Wilbert left and Loy right. A wide out right and slot wide to the right. And the option, there's a give. That's Wilbert's got plenty of room on that right side, and boy, he sheds a couple of tacklers, and now he reverses his field, and he could end up going a long ways down to the 10-5 touchdown as Wilbert goes 47 yards for that score.
Well, good read by Peyton Brown, running the option. He comes down the line. They do let a man go like they're supposed to, so they can option off of him. He takes the quarterback, a good read, gets the pitch out, and then it was Ginnivan who got the last guy on the outside with a really good stock block from the wide receiver, and then it's just some natural ability, break a couple tackles out in the open field, and give him 6.
47-yard run by Wilbert, and the extra point attempt coming from Trey Harris out of Wilbert's hold. To collect his breath. Gets the snap down, the kick is up and plenty long enough. That one is good. 9:39 left here in the first half. Frontenac leads Riverton 34-0, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM.
FHS students prepare the homecoming dances tonight. The dance will start at 9:30 p.m. and end at midnight in the high school cafeteria. Be sure to bring $3 to attend the festivities. Here's the kickoff for the Raiders. Looking back to receive for the Rams. Let's get up and make some noise for the kickoff.
Rob Stranback with Randy Southard at the Raiders Sports Complex. 9:39 left. First half, Frontenac 34, Riverton 0. Raiders to kick off. Harris has it teed up at the 40. Back to receive the kick is Kirby for the Rams. Stands back at his 5-yard line. And end over end. Kirby comes. He's going to take it at about the 12. Crosses the 15, the 20, and then he got popped. And that is amazing. Start 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Or excuse me, it looks. I'll wait to put it down. Yeah, about the 22. The faces there in there defensively for the Raiders is with that 34-0 lead with 9:35 left here in the first half, and there's a dive, and boy, not much going there.
Yeah, and been saying his name a lot, but Andrew Mays on that line. Now, he didn't make the tackle on this play, but he completely stoned the line of scrimmage. The ball carrier ran into the offensive lineman that was trying to block Mays. Mays just stood him up, and then you think it was Johnson coming from the outside to get in on the tackle.
So 2nd and 9 for the Rams from their own 23-yard line. Boney under the center. And rolling left, looking to throw. Boney Got a man, and it is caught and avoids the first tackler and drags the tackler out to the 45 for the first down.
Well, he throwing into double coverage. I'm not sure how he snuck this ball in. I was looking downfield, didn't see anywhere really to throw the football, but somehow managed just to sneak that one in. And Riverton getting their first down of the game.
So a gain of about 22 on that completion. So the Rams 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. I get some of those faces in there. Colby Bevins in the defensive line. That's KW Hale at the end. Zach Roseborough also. McDaniel, as it was up for grabs, about 4 players had a shot for it, went up in the air, was picked off.
Well, they ran that same route that they had the back on the wheel route open earlier. They run the same play. McDaniel comes off of his man from the corner spot to deflect it, and I thought maybe McDaniel laying on his back may have been able to catch it. And out of nowhere, Collier comes, dives, and makes the grab.
So 1st and 10 for the Raiders from their own 49-yard line. Ginnivan goes wide to the right. Slot right is Wilbert, joined out there by Ishamira. Brown in the gun with Lloyd the blocking back. Quick hitch, right side, complete to Ginnivan. Avoids the first tackler, takes it to the middle, now goes to the far side, and he avoided the tackler there as he was hung up for a short time and battled his way down near the 25-yard line.
Yeah, there is a flag down here. This is going to come back on a hold or an illegal block in the back, and I thought I was looking for a flag initially, didn't see one. The flag came in late though, and I think this is a good call against the Raiders for blocking the back.
And that negates a gain of about 25 yards on that quick hitch right side to Ginnivan. Nice pitch and catch and run. But again, a block. That is a block in the back, so they're going to, again, start behind the chains after that penalty with 8:15 left here in the second quarter, and Frontenac 34-0 lead. So that play didn't happen. Except for the penalty.
It's just, where you've got the age difference, the size difference. It's younger players going against a big man in Ginnivan trying to bring him down.
1st and 16, Raiders from their own 43, and this time Brown's going to keep Boyd nothing there. As he was brought down and actually lost about a yard.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell which defensive lineman got in there. It's hard to see those numbers, but came off the block and got to him. Because I tell you, there was a huge hole. He had a lead blocker going through it. If he gets past the line of scrimmage, he had something going.
So a 2nd and 16 now for the Raiders from their own 43-yard line. Clock moving down to 7:39 left first half, and Frontenac with that 34-0 lead. Daniel comes wide left. Also Wilbert, joined out there by Ishamira. Out of the gun. Brown with the blocking back, Lloyd to his right. And he rides. Takes it up the middle. Brown has room, crosses midfield, brings it near side 45, tripped up, and he rolls out near the 40-yard line, close to the first down.
Yeah, zone read action and a really good read. Rode it as long as he could, kept a long mesh point. The defender decided to take the back. He kept it, had a nice lane straight up the middle, bounced to the outside, but an excellent read and run by Brown.
Well, a 3rd and a yard. Came up just short of the first down, so the Raiders from the Rams just between the 42 and 41-yard line.
And Brown showing some pretty decent speed as he burst straight up the middle with just a good burst of speed straight through there.
Chastain goes wide right, Hesson wide to the left. Running backs in the eye this time behind Brown. Front line gets that surge up. There's a penalty. They're going to go via the penalty route now. As that 5-yard mark off as one of the Ram defenders in that line got a little over anxious. And 5-yard mark off in the first down.
Well, a good time to go on 2 or go on a different snap count than you've been going. But some undisciplined play because Brown really didn't even have his hands underneath center, I don't believe.
So 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Football just inside the Rams' 32-yard line. With 6.5 minutes left here in the first half in Frontenac, that 34-0 lead. Shamira goes wide to the right. Slot right is Wilbert. Wide left, Ginnivan. Again, Lloyd the blocking back to the left of Brown. Now in motion right to left goes Wilbert. Fake the handoff and give it to Lloyd, and he has some room inside the 30, 25, 20. Breaks off the blocker, and he could go 10, 5, and he's pushed down. He stretches, tries to get the power on, and he's going to come up short.
Boy, really well blocked. They pull 2 linemen this time, 2 lead blockers. They get a good seal to the inside. The pulling linemen get their kick-out blocks in a natural lane. Really good run, but well blocked up front initially by the Raider offensive line.
So first and goal for the Raiders. Football at the Rams 2 with 6:06 left here in the first half. And Frontenac trying to add to that 34-0 lead.
Yeah, you even had Trey Harris, a lineman, downfield. He kind of led through the hole as well, and he was downfield about 20 yards and was able to pick up an extra block as well.
Brown out of the gun. Running back Lloyd behind him. And an option left side. Pitch to Lloyd's got a couple of blockers. He's going to go into the end zone for the score. 2-yard touchdown run by Cooper Lloyd.
Good job by Brown reading that option. Perfect pitch out to Loy and good stock blocks. Boy, that's been a thing all night long tonight for the Raiders. The wide receivers have done a great job of blocking for the most part. They had one block in the back on this drive earlier in this drive, but for the most part, the stock blocks on the outside have been excellent, and those are the ones you need to get the big gains.
So the extra point attempt for Harris. Good snap, placement down, and the kick plenty long. It is good. 6:01 left here in the first half. Frontenac 41, Riverton nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM.
The true sense of a great experience.
A tradition unlike any other, Festa Italiana will be held on October 7th. Games open at 4:45 p.m. The amazing food will be served shortly after at 5. There are tons of activities for the whole family, including the kids zone with inflatables, the Mario's Market Silent Auction, and the always popular wine tasting tent. There will also be a live auction. Some of the items include a Brown and Pro Steel Fireproof gun safe, the Crossbow Carbon Express X-Force Advantage, and Uber LCD pistol, all donated by John's Sports Center. The Frontenac Education Foundation wants to thank all of the sponsors and look forward to seeing you all at Festa Italiana on October 7th.
Rob Strand, Randy Southard back at the Raiders Sports Complex. 6:01 left first half. Frontenac 41, Riverton nothing. And kickoff. Ray Harris tees it up at the 40, and again back to receive the kick. Cage Kirby for the Rams. So some life in the Raiders offense. Stretched out to a 41-0 lead with 6:01 left here in the first half.
When Rob Galena has exploded in the second quarter, it's now 20-0 Galena.
Harris the approach, end over end kick. Kirby retreats back to his 3, brings it up the middle, the 10, the 15, tries the left side, and he's hemmed in and brought down shy of the 20. So, good kick coverage.
Everybody stayed in their lanes very well. Couldn't find any creases, so good job by the kick coverage.
First and 10 Rams.
First and 10 Rams, and they will start from their own.
On the 19-yard line.
Trying to see, it looks like about the 19-yard line. Again, the front defense also Cummins in there along with Bevins, Hale, Strand, the front line. And they give a little counter play, left side, and boy, nothing doing there is hemmed in. Oh, now a penalty flag goes down. There's that time Will Shaver was thrown back for a loss of about 4. I don't know what the call is. Boy, there's a big scrum right there, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is going to be. It could easily be a face mask. I see the Raider players moving back.
That's what they got.
That's the call, is a face mask.
There wasn't much going there. They had him stopped and thrown for about a 4-yard loss, but negated by the face mask penalty.
Well, so far tonight, though, the defensive line for the Raiders, no matter who's been in, has done a really good job pushing the line of scrimmage backwards, just resetting it 2 yards deep in the backfield.
First and 10 for the Rams via the penalty route. They'll start at their own 31-yard line with 5:45 left here in the first half. And Frontenac 41-0 lead. And the quarterback is Boney under the center with Gilmore, the running back behind. Now, boy, everybody jumped. There was no penalty. It looked like both sides moved on that and nothing doing. Go to the air, and it got completion. Loose on the far side, and then now it is a race. Wiley McDaniel trying to get the receiver and catches him down about the 11-yard line.
Well, this is the same play that they got a completion on earlier. And, there is a flag down at the line of scrimmage. But this is the same play with the end coming across that I said earlier. I didn't know how they got it into him when they got their first down. This time it's the same play. Backup players in. He's wide open across the middle. This time they hit it for the big play. And they're calling another face mask against the Raiders, so they're going to add, I would assume this will be half the distance to the goal. They'll add to the end of the play.
Well, that was about a 58-yard completion, and was that, obviously the face mask wasn't on the reception.
No, I think it was at the line of scrimmage, either the tight end or something like that, maybe more like a hands to the face rather than, it wasn't on the tackle.
And what was interesting, they had movement both sides of the football, 2 Raiders and 1 Ram, and no flag went down on that. The offensive side, even if they didn't get in the neutral zone, should have gone if they were moving. First and goal for the Rams from the Raiders 7. Now trying to go to the left side, avoid a missed tackle, and Boney keeping the football. He's down about the 5-boy. Raiders had a shot at him, throw for a loss, but he's able to turn it into a gain of a couple yards.
Yeah, good hard run because, he was dead to rights in the backfield, but able to squirm his way out of it. The tackler really went just a little bit too high on him, went more at the shoulders rather than getting more to the waist.
Second and goal for the Rams from the Raiders. 5-yard line, down to 4:45 left here in the first half in Frontenac. 41-0 lead. Now a little late getting the play in from the far sideline. The play clock down to 10. It's not in any big hurry as they walk up there with 5 on the clock. Boney under the center, motion left to right from the wingback slot, looking to throw. Some pressure, puts up, got a man open, and it is caught for a touchdown. That's coming out of the backfield. That was Will Shaver, who caught the touchdown pass, 5 yards from Max Boney.
And he probably would have had his choice on this one. He could go early to the back that he went to. If he'd have held it for another second, I think he'd have had the wide receiver open more towards the back corner of the end zone. The Riverton on the board, and did I hear you say at the beginning of the
first points of the season?
First points of the year. So congratulations to the Rams on that. Hate to see it kind of against us, but that's okay.
So a 2-point conversion attempt by Riverton. And rolling left, looking to throw some pressure, and Cummins in there gets a quarterback, and 2-point conversion attempt fails. And I was trying to see, had they had a different quarterback in there? I don't know if that was the dominant Rooks. Was that number 4? I can't quite tell. Okay, still Boney in there?
Yes, it's still Boney.
So the 2-point conversion attempt fails. So 4:21 left first half. Frontenac leads at 41-6. So, like you said, the Rams' first points of the season, and well-conceived play is, like I said, he had a couple of options, and making the catch right at the goal line was Will Shaver, and Rams on the board. So a Boney to Will Shaver for 5 yards. And Riverton's on the board. I know that's got to be, one of those things they've been looking at. If you're the 4th game in and you get the points, that's got to feel good for the Riverton Rams.
Absolutely. Got a couple scoring updates. Columbus has scored a touchdown and 2-point conversion, so they lead Colgan 16-8. And Pittsburgh has scored and taken the lead over Fort Scott. They lead 12-7.
So a couple of the other scores in the area.
Problem. Never mind. It's back on. Some kids were stomping on the blue.
Let's get up and make some noise for the kickoff.
And it cut off the video, but I rebooted some stuff that came back on. Oh, that was scary. All right, bye-bye. You gotta just drag it from the bottom.
He's gonna go. He split the defenders, headed toward the end zone, and that is Hayden Powell.
Touchdown! Touchdown, Hayden Powell.
Yeah, I think he was playing the inside
Point after attempt by Harris is good. Be sure to stick around at halftime. We have performance by the Frontenac High School dance team and the Frontenac Marching Raiders. Harris to kick off for the Raiders. Kirby to return for the Rams. Let's get up and make some noise for the kickoff.
Yeah, some kids were jumping up and down and it rocked the camera back, but I got it fixed.
Carter, come here. Carter, come here. No, you come here. You come here.
I had the tripod where it was easy to move.
Kirby returns it to the 23-yard line.
Just a little bit of rocking and it tilted the camera back.
First and 10 Rams.
I shouldn't have had it that loose. Yeah. Yeah, audio is fine too. Yeah, we're good. Oh!
Interception. Interception by number 56, Jordan Nishimura.
Knocked him back down. And the officials having a little word with him now, but I think a good no call on both sides, really. I don't think it was worth a penalty on Riverton, and I don't think you could blame him for, reacting to it as well. So
another turnover. That's the third interception thrown by the Rams. And the Raiders will start first and 10 from the Riverton 26-yard line. 4:02 left first half in Frontenac. 48-6, Jordan didn't come out. Brown.
Gain of 9 on the play. Second down.
Yeah, I think that made the court a little sensitive when that happened earlier. I'm not sure which one. I'll have to take a look at it later.
Alex Johnson on the carry. Gain of 15. That's good for a Frontenac Raider. First and goal.
So whenever something like that happens, I'll tell you after this play in the touch or in the field goal ratio or whatever. I'm sure they're gonna make it.
Touchdown Raiders! Touchdown Alex Johnson.
And everything looks like it's connected pretty well. You just highlight the Elgato and you'll remove it. You go to add and it'll be under audio devices or just devices in general. offense if they can't hear Rob. If Mike, So good. If Mike says
Point after, no good.
just delete that USB audio device and then re-add it, and it should be good as long as everything's plugged in right.
Yeah, I think they should definitely implement that 4 o'clock. Go like 55%.
Yeah. Or at least make it a coach's decision if they want to end it after so many quarters and do it like that.
Well, I think it is.
I don't see why not.
Harris to kick off for the Raiders. Kirby back to receive for the Rams. Let's get up and make some noise for the kickoff. Fair catch made it to 20. 1st and 10 Rams. Loss of 5 on the play. 2nd down. Gilmore on the carry. Third down. Flag on the play. Offsides against the Raiders. No gain on the play. 4th down. Wilbert on the return.
Hit the Fletcher twin.
Well, I don't know. We can get that Fletcher.
First and 10 Raiders.
We'll try to.
Ball's at the 20-yard line.
Tri-State, see if we can do it in Crockett, and then as long as all those play all right, then we'll hit the Fletcher, just in case.
So Tri-State CMB, then Scene 8.
Yep.
Second down. It's halftime. Score at the half, Frontenac 54, Riverton 6. Be sure to stick around. We got performances by the Frontenac High School Band as well as the Frontenac High School Dance Team.
Helping build the four-state area, providing quality construction services and dependability at competitive prices. Tri-State Building has a reputation as a general contractor and an authorized Butler builder, which holds experience, quality, and reliability above all other considerations. Tri-State Building has built a multitude of projects and is your full-service design build contractor that can take you from concept to grand opening. For an honest and proven contractor, call us, Tri-State Building.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
The Frontenac High School Dance Team. gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Raider Pride Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Felicia Graves. Tonight's performance kicks off with Shout It Out, a song from the 2002 hit movie Drumline. Next they'll be performing a hit song from the classic pop group the Jackson 5. Get up off your feet and dance with the Raider Pride Marching Band as they present I Want You Back. The band will end their performance with the school fight song. Please give a big round of applause to the Raider Pride Marching Band.
I'm into the ground and everything, but it's just been unseasonably warm as you're talking week 4, and so I imagine toward the end of the year we'll be complaining about how cold we are in the press box at some of them, but we shall see. Hopefully the season goes a long way and we can complain about that. At halftime, the Frontenac Raiders lead the Riverton Rams 54-6, and we'll be back with second half action after we take another 2-minute break. 2 minutes. You're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM. Rob Strandak with Randy Southern at the Raiders Sports Complex. And again, at halftime, the Frontenac Raiders with the 54-6 lead over the Riverton Rams, and the Raiders out for the mandatory 3-minute warm-up prior to kickoff to start the second half. And the Riverton Rams walking out onto the field. And again, I believe the Raiders took the football to start. I believe they actually won the toss. I didn't see the actual toss, but I know they took the football. I thought that was by design. The Raiders wanted to put it in the offense's hand. And so I guess the Rams will have the choice here to start the second half, and I'm sure they'll take the football. And, of course, we were talking about not only this game but some other big games in southeast Kansas.
Yeah, the 3 games I've been keeping the closest eye on. These are all halftime scores. The only one not close is Galena at Girard. Galena up 34-0 at the half. They completely exploded in the second quarter. This game was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. Galena getting 34 big points in the second. Colgan hosting Columbus at the half. Columbus 16, Colgan 8. Colgan was driving at the end of the second quarter, ended up trying to settle for a field goal on the last play of the half, ended up missing the field goal, so the score 16-8 Columbus over Colgan. And then Pittsburgh at Fort Scott. At the half, Pittsburgh's made a comeback. They lead 19-13 up there in Fort Scott.
So the area scores, and that's just on the Kansas side. And of course there's some big games over in southwest Missouri, as I know Carl Junction and Carthage, they always do battle, and that should be a good one going. And trying to think some of the other contests that were going on is Lamar had I believe they had McDonald County, if I'm not mistaken, and was Webb City, of course, week in, week out, they always have a big contest. I don't know if they were maybe Nixa. In any event, there was a lot of games going on over there, so we're trying to keep you updated on those ones over here on the southeast Kansas side, and some big games again. And then next week, Raiders be on the road. We head to Kansas City to take on Harmon, a new face on the schedule, and I think it'll be one of those one-and-done deals as they're taking place of Southeast this season. And then there's going to be some changes next year as, it looks like now the Raiders probably going to be dropping down to the 3A, and they're going with 5 district games, and it's going to be probably a new look on the schedule. There may be some different faces on there you're not familiar with, and it'll be interesting. I mean, it'll be a change compared to what we've been going through. And
well, you can call it 3A, but really it's 4A Division or 4A Division 2 plus the biggest 16 3A schools, so it's really not going to change a whole lot. Maybe a few new faces on the schedule, but if you're thinking, well, who from those 3A schools, it's not going to be like Rossville, the big time schools in 3A in Kansas. So it won't be that much different as far as competition-wise. We're not technically, yes, we're moving down, but not really.
Yeah, they're kind of what they're doing is changing the district setup, and they're kind of shuffling the classes basically.
And all they really did was get rid of a state championship game,
right?
Which I don't understand what the problem is with having the ones that we have, but apparently they wanted to get rid of one, and so they reclassified.
Well, and I think it's basically, what are you going to do, play 5 districts, 3 games you throw in, and then you're all going to that first playoff game is the 9th game rather than having 9 regular,
like
with
what
the past 3 districts.
Yeah, more similar to what 5A in Missouri
Right.
and what Missouri has been doing for a long time.
Right, and of course you still got the classification coming up this season for all the other sports, which there's a possibility that Frontenac may be dropping down 3A in that too. So we shall see. Stay tuned because they get those enrollment numbers in, and could be some changes even this year as far as what class they're going to be in for the other sports this season. So ready for the start of the second half. Frontenac leads Riverton 54-6, and the Raiders will kick off. And this time, teeing it up for Frontenac will be, I believe that's probably Dusty Kaufman out there teeing it up at the 40-yard line. Nathan, I'll call him Nathan. I know him more like Dusty, but Nathan Kaufman.
Dusty's his nickname, and so for his mother, we'll make sure we call him Nathan.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard him called some other things in practice, but I'm not going to mention what those are. We'll go with Dusty or Nathan, whichever one you want to go with. Anyway, he's going to tee it up at the 40. Again, back to receive the kick is Cage Kirby. Done a good job on the returns for the Rams here as he stands back at his 5-yard line. And Kaufman, former soccer player down in Texas, he does have a good leg. I mean, he'd be a pretty good end-over-end kick. And this one's going over to the far side. And that is Ethan Shawver. And he's got room. Right side cuts it up the middle, and he is out across the 35 and dives out near the. Oh, what a late hit, man! You got to throw a flag on that, don't you? Boy, and one of the Raiders late getting up, and
yeah, and it looked like it was a shove in the back to boot. But I tell you, even on the kickoff there, that was JV kickoff team, at least the coverage team. And right now, this is JV defense coming out on the field as well. So it looks like the Raider starters are done for the night.
So 1st and 10 for the Rams, and they'll start from their own 37-yard line. Frontenac with the 54-6 lead. Again, the quarterback is Max Boney, a senior. And there's rolling to the left side, looking to throw. Pressure, boy, and there's a sack back at the 30-yard line. KW Hill putting pressure, and Cummins wrapped him up, and Hale with the assist, but the initial pressure put down by Hale, and they throw him for a loss of 7 yards.
Yeah, and Hale did a good job to fight to the outside and didn't let Boney get to the outside, turned him back in, and that's where Cummins was coming. Had pretty good coverage. They tried that same kind of wheel route again to the back. Had pretty decent coverage that time. Wasn't able to get rid of the ball quickly, and then the rush got to him.
So 2nd and 17 for the Rams from their own 30-yard line. Under the center. And the pressure, and boy, oh boy, he's going to be sacked again back at the 25-yard line. Initial pressure, I believe that was Hale once in there again, and he kind of got him around the collar, and coming in there again was Cummins.
Yeah, both defensive ends in on the play, Pyle and Hale. And I think it was Pyle that kind of came in first and grabbed him kind of funny, and he's coming off the field looking at his wrist a little bit, is Pyle, but both tackles, instant pressure, Cummins up the middle.
Timeout taken by the Rams with 10:09 remaining here in the third quarter. Frontenac the 54-6 lead, and the Rams going to face a 3rd and about 22 from their own 25-yard line. So a good start defensively for the Raiders here to start the second half.
And I do see Pyle on the sideline during this timeout. Went over, had his wrist kind of checked, was shaking his hand a little bit, but he's got his helmet strapped on. He should be fine.
And again, the Rams, I don't think Johnny Mall too happy with the consecutive losses there and putting them in a big hole. Trying to get name that's Cummins in there, also Bevins, Hale,
Mosier
in there,
Bollinger. I think Cale Bridwell, Jake Beckman,
Kay Chastain's in the backfield there.
Hessong, one of the cornerbacks, and Rayo back at free safety.
So, yeah. Yeah, looking to throw. A little pass and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And can't see who that was intended for, but it was dropped. And it's going to be another punting situation for the Rams.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders got a little bit lucky there, but receivers kind of bunched up. Probably not quite the right route. and the linebackers kind of came, bit on the fake, and then they had the tight end coming right behind him, kind of the old hot pass. Had it open, just not able to connect.
Well, high snap, comes down with it, gets the punt away, short punt over to the far side. And it takes the Rams roll out near midfield, and that's why Frontenac will start 1st and 10. Raiders see if they put it right at midfield. It looks like they're going to get some new faces in there on the offensive side of the football also. Try and see who.
Yeah, Jake Beckman's going to come in as quarterback.
Sophomore. And he'll line up in the gun. Couple blocking backs flanking him. And there's a give. Sweep to the right side. Boy, Boyd's the first tackler. And trying to see, was that the Bollinger on the carry? It was, and did well to gain about 3.
Yeah, he probably should have lost 3. Was able to spin out of a tackle in the backfield. And this is where defensively you get to be real aggressive and you can go. Well, now you're on the offensive side, and you can guarantee the Riverton players have been out there all night. They're sitting there licking their chops. Now is our chance to make some plays on defense. So that offensive line, the new offensive line out there for the Raiders, they're going to have to kind of realize real quick they're in a varsity game.
Coming out wide to the right is Pyle. Tight left, Cronacke. Under center, Beckman. Reverses out, gives it to the tailback. And that is Bollinger. He's loose far sideline, and he is tossed down about the 30 after a nice game.
Yeah, kind of stuffed up the middle, and he did a good job to break one arm tackle and bust it to the outside. And Bollinger has some pretty decent speed. He's kind of a stockier kid, but he's got good speed, real strong, very strong in the legs. Breaks one tackle and makes a nice run to the outside.
1st and 10 for the Raiders from the Rams' 32-yard line with 7:44 left third quarter. Frontenac the 54-6 lead. Coming out wide to the right this time is Jake McGinney. One wide out to the left, slot to the right, option right side, Beckman, and he pitches back and trying to turn the corner and giving a stiff arm, and hemmed in, brought down, killed Bridwell, and he was able to get a yard on that one.
Well, Beckman, a good read, did the proper thing in the pitch, good pitch, and just needed one more block on the outside, and Bridwell would have been able to turn it up. Probably did it all he could to gain the yard they did.
So Bridwell carry a yard, and Raiders face a 2nd and 9 from the Rams' 30-yard line.
I see Cole Davis on the line, Dakota Lapping in on the line, Bevins, Buddy Sexton, and Caleb Hemby in at center.
Boy, he avoided the first tackler who had some penetration. He's able to gain about 5 as he tried the left side and did well to avoid a loss and picked up about 5.
Well, it was a blitzing linebacker that came in and able to kind of sidestep him and turn something in. Nothing. Pretty good run by Rayo as that it looked like the blitzing linebacker had him dead to rights.
So a 3rd and 4 for the Raiders from the Rams' 25-yard line. Clock moving down to 6:12 here in the third quarter, and Frontenac with the 54-6 lead. Again, Beckman under the center. And rolling right, looking to throw. Beckman's got a man open. It is complete. And on the receiving end is Cronacke, and he tiptoes down inside the 10, down about the 8-yard line.
Boy, good job by Beckman getting rid of this one. It ended up on the bootleg, had some immediate pressure, able to find his quick out. Did a good job getting him the ball. Cronacke, a nice catch and run. I was wondering, if it is the JV, but with the score, does the JV throw it? I was kind of wondering if we were going to, have the pass play, but gets the call there on the bootleg.
1st and goal, Raiders from the Rams' 9-yard line. Beckman out of the gun this time. The mop up afterwards.
Well, and that's where it's a young quarterback, because if you've watched Malikas last year, and Brown has done this tonight as well, it's that pause. He ended up getting out there ahead of his blocker, so that's where the initial threat came from, and then the block was coming later. So he's going to learn that he's got to pause a little bit, wait for that lineman to get out in front of him, so he's got that lead block.
2nd and goal, Raiders from the Rams' 9-yard line. Running backs in the I formation behind the quarterback.
Really, they're bringing more people up there than Frontenac has on the line to block.
Also saw Austin Sauter in there at wide receiver that time. And Raiders facing a 3rd and goal, football resting at the Rams 10. Down to 4 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. And Frontenac with that 54-6 lead. Splitting wide to the left goes Mosier. Wide to the right is Pyle, and the slot to the right. That is Bollinger. And there's a quick hitch right side. That's complete to Pyle. Gets the block, cuts inside that block, dives for the Pyle, got in, touchdown. So a nice effort. I'm trying to see who come over and kind of gave him that block to spring him there.
It might have been Kroenke, and it was close. He kind of almost had a hold of the shoulder and spun the defender. I kept looking at the official to see if he was going to throw it. Didn't throw the flag, and then Pyle, a good job diving towards the pylon to get in.
Yeah, the clock running, so extra point attempt coming up, and trying to see who's putting a toe to it out of the hold of Kyle Kubler. Kick up and wide right. Was that Cale Bridwell tried it, and the extra point attempt failed, and he shrugs his shoulder, comes to the side. You got to pick it up. That was one time. You got to turn around and do it right the next time, I guess.
I'm not sure the JV has actually attempted an extra point, so they've always gone for 2.
So the Raiders stretch their lead to 60-6. Now the clock is moving, and down to 2.5 minutes. So again, you're getting some new kids in there, new faces, and nice to get in there and produce. Good touchdown and good performance.
Well, and these are against other varsity players, although probably age-wise, it's a pretty decent matchup. Honestly, you're seeing a lot of freshmen and sophomores for Riverton out there normally, so you're getting some, and a handful of juniors as well. So you're getting that from Frontenac now, is what So age-wise, it's probably more of a fair fight right now.
Except for the one side's been in there about 3 quarters, and there ain't many of them. That's tough. I mean, it is warm.
I will say this, though. I have yet to see a single Riverton player, with their head down. They have been continuing to play hard. It's good to see that. That them really still try, even with the score the way it is.
And a short end-over-end kickoff, and with it, rumbling out across the 40 is the big guy, as Gavin Gilmore hauls a Pyle out to about the 48-yard line. A nice return there, and there was we were talking about, that'd be tough. You're looking for your first points of the season, but I was talking to another person at work today who's knowledgeable of maybe some of these other classes, and they said that they're going to play a lot of young kids, and their sophomore class and some of those other kids coming up, there's better days ahead for them, and this is going to only help them. I mean, they're going to have to play now, but they got some talented kids coming up with some size, and so that should help them out. There's a reverse. Oh, nice play there. That was Pyle came up, wasn't fooled by the deception, and throwing for a loss is Will Shaver.
Yeah, very disciplined. Stayed at home, didn't follow it, got as deep as the ball, ran right into it, and nice hit.
So 2nd and 15 for the Rams, and they'll be at their own 43-yard line. Clock moving down to 25 seconds left, 3rd quarter, and Frontenac with a 60-6 lead. Kyle Kubler in there, the corner. Money under the center. Dropping back, looking to pass, gets around the corner, and he's brought down after he's able to pick up about 3. Nice penetration. Was that Hemby in there? Gave some penetration, didn't make the tackle, but let a couple of his teammates mop up.
Yeah, Hemby, good job getting penetration, putting some immediate pressure, forced him to, and spun him around, even slow him up, and then I think it was Tucker Pryor came in and finished off the tackle.
And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th quarter. Frontenac leads at 60-6. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM. Rob Strand with Randy Southard. We're here for the fourth quarter. The Raiders Sports Complex, Frontenac with the 60-6 lead over Riverton. And the Rams with the football, 3rd and 13 from their own 45-yard line. Boney under the center, looking to throw once again. Puts it up for grabs and making the adjustment. Now they're going to call a penalty as the Raider defender out there. And that was Jake McGinney got kind of tied up with the wide receiver. The quarterback raised up, put it up, air under it, put up for grabs. And apparently they're going to say the defender grabbed him on the way out.
Yeah, kind of got his hands on him a little bit. It's a bit of a ticky-tack call, but probably a good one.
1st and 10 after the penalty. The Rams will be at the Raiders' 40-yard line.
Just trying to check on a couple other scores in the third quarter. Columbus, no change in the halftime score. Columbus still 16-8 over Colgan.
So 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Raiders' 40-yard line. Boney, boy, he bobbled the snap, but able to get it to the fullback Gilmore, and boy, he's just trying to run over Raiders and does tune of about 6 yards.
You know,
2nd and 4 for the Rams from the Raiders' 34-yard line. Clock moving down to 10:39. Raiders with the 60-6 lead. Again, Boney into the center, motion. Wing left to right, looking to go long, puts it up for grabs. Oh, and it is caught. And almost looked like the receiver pushed off of the defender that time, but they give him the catch down near the 5-yard line.
You know, pretty good coverage by McGinney out there. Just this time didn't locate the football. The receiver did. Is a little underthrown, so the receiver able to come back and make the catch. But really, McGinney in pretty decent shape. Now it's just a matter of finding the football.
So a pickup of 28 yards on that completion. So Boney 113 yards via the air. 1st and goal for the Rams from the Raiders' 5. There's a give, the dive up the middle, and short yardage down to about the 3.
And Cole Davis getting some action at middle linebacker, did a pretty good job filling that hole, and he got into those legs to slow down the big guy.
Officially for Gilmore, 9 carries for 7 yards on the night. And Rams with a 2nd and goal from the Raiders' 4-yard line. 60-6, the Raiders the lead. The Rams threaten with 9:20 remaining. Again, Gilmore, the fullback, behind the quarterback, Boney. Wings to both sides, now motion right to left, and keeping it is Boney, and he tucks it up the middle, dives, and looks like he got stopped just short.
Well, I think trying to get all the way to the outside, not able to. Turned it up and made a positive play out of it, and looks like he might be even inside the 1. They'll have 2 shots to get it in.
It'll be 3rd and goal from inside the 1 for the Rams. Trying to cut into that Raiders 60-6 lead. Again, Gilmore, the fullback, come behind Boney, slots to both sides, Shavers. Now, wing right goes to the running back right side. Now motion left to right, the other wing back. There's a give the dive to the
the ball come out.
And the ball come out. Now, no, the official far side has a touchdown.
Well, I swore I saw the ball pop out in the middle. Apparently not. But he just barely got in. You know, give the defense up front some credit, holding their own, making the big guy earn it.
So Gilmore from a yard out scores the Rams' 2nd touchdown of the evening, and extra point coming up as the Rams will apparently go for the 2 with 8 minutes remaining. Boney, quarterback, dropping, and he was pressured and brought down. The end came in, and that was
Hemby.
Hemby came in. Nice effort, foils the 2-point conversion. So 7:40 remaining, and Frontenac the 60-12 lead. And the Raiders again going to go to even at 2-2 on the season, heading to Kansas City to take on Harmon next Friday, and the Rams fall to 0-4. And again, we've got Riverton playing host to Baxter Springs next week, and build on scoring their first dozen points of the season here this evening. And So, hey, like I said, there's not many of them, and I know they got to be worn to a frazzle, but they keep battling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think their coach is going to be pretty pleased with their performance tonight. They, the air has been against the backup players who just aren't used to seeing some of the stuff that they were doing. So, but overall, I think the Riverton's got to be a little, 195 pounds already, so a big kid. So, they've got some. Looks like they have some talent coming up.
And the up back takes it, and he's out to the 40-yard line, and trying to see who that was on the return.
It was Trey Strand.
Okay, came up and got some new faces on that return, and a nice effort. Took the ball and ran, and got it out to the, I thought the 40. Stand back. Yeah, I believe it is the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and he's just starting to get his first action of the year last week in the JV game, and had a couple.
1st and 10. Raiders, they start for their own 40-yard line. And there, that is Kyle Kubler, and boy, he took it and ran, hurdled at the 45, made it out to the 47, so nice effort. Actually, a gain of 6 for Kubler.
Yeah, and no indecision there. Boy, saw the hole and hit it hard.
So Kubler able to pick up 6 yards on that carry. And Raiders with a 2nd and 4 from their own 46-yard line, down to 5:05 remaining in Frontenac, the 60-12 lead. Going wide to the right is Connor Taylor. They've got a slot right, wide out left. Kubler in the gun, high snap. Kubler goes back and retrieves it, forced to scramble. Needs some help, gets some help, and now he's able to turn the corner, turns it into a big gain, crosses midfield down to 45, down to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line of the Rams with a first down.
Well, he might be small in stature, but he's a lot quicker than you think, able to outrun everybody to the corner, then breaks one arm tackle.
And just speed got him around there. And Raiders with a 1st and 10. Boy, look at the Ram defenders, man. Hands on knees. I mean, they've gone through a long night and trying to get through this next 4:07. The Raiders a 1st and 10 from the Rams' 43-yard line. Kubler reverses out, gives it to the tailback, and carry down to about the 38-yard line.
It was Bollinger on the carry, and boy, geez, hockey line change. About an entirely new offensive line in the game for the Raiders. A couple of backs into the game, so.
I take care of the quarterback. Kubler's still in there. You're responsible for the other 10.
That's not fair.
Well, hey, I can tell you one thing. Coming from the sideline was Austin Souter and Adar.
I know Clay Jamison in the game now. Jay Carlsknit.
Couple wideouts left, running backs in the eye behind Kubler. 2nd and 6 Raiders from 38, and there's a give to the tailback. And boy, has legs cut up. Boy, don't bend him back there, man. That was Storm Nix. He got a couple of tough yards.
And seeing Alex Story in the game. Connor Taylor up on the line. Trenton Hessong in at tackle.
Down to 2:50 remaining. Frontenac the 60-12 lead. The Raiders face a 3rd and 3 from the Rams' 35-yard line. So see if the Raiders can get a first down, keep the clock moving. Kubler out of the gun with the snap. Option right side. He's going to keep it. Crosses the 30. Has the first down. Stood up, still battling. Is able to get down about the 27-yard line for a pickup. About 8 yards.
Yeah, and that was pretty well blocked. Right side of the line, got a little bit of push. Sealed the corner, able to turn it up. His back, I think he could have pitched the ball. His back a little bit late in getting out and having a good pitch relationship, but overall pretty well blocked up front. Now Caden Burris in on the offensive line now. Dylan Ench. I apologize if I miss anybody.
Raiders face a 1st and 10 from the 27 of the Rams. And Kubler out of the gun. Running back behind him. And there's a give. Oh, nice. Pretty good smack right there. Is on the carry at that time was Clay Jamison, and he got stoned. Did a pretty good job. Nice penetration by one of the Rams.
Yeah, Dominic Rooks He's a freshman. That's actually the quarterback that we noticed in the pregame. Athletic kid, good size to him, and that time I don't think that was a blitz. I think he actually just read it and filled the hole. Made a real nice play.
Minute 12, clock moving. Frontenac 60-12, and again after the game we'll name the Canar Eye Care Player of the Game, and also talk with Raiders coach Mark Smith. As the Raiders with a 2nd and 10 from the 27. Boy, and the snap bobbled by Kubler, and he goes down to try and get it.
Early ball goes through his own hands, and instead of trying to fall on it, he tried to pick it up and make something out of it like he did earlier in the drive. And this time not able to pick it up, and Riverton gets the turnover.
And we'll see the clock down to 25 seconds. Rams with the football 1st and 10 from the Raiders 37. And we'll see if Riverton going to be content to let the waning moments click off the top and off the clock. And Frontenac going to leave Raiders Sports Complex with a 60-20. Then about a minute break and be back with the unofficial stat scoring summary. Coach Mark Smith named the Canar Eye Care Player of the Game, that and more in a minute. You're listening to high school football on 103.5 FM.
I don't know what to do for player. Again, just give offense. But I even get paid when you got 6'5", 52.
Okay. And Rob Strand back with Randy Southard, Raiders Sports Complex. The Frontenac Raiders knock off the Riverton Rams 60-12. A homecoming win for the Raiders to even the season 2-2. The Rams fall to 0-4. And before we name the Canar Eye Care Player of the Game and talk with Coach Mark Smith, let's go over the scoring summary. The Raiders scored first with 8:06 remaining in the first quarter. A 31-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Brown to Brock Ginnivan. Trey Harris was good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 7, Riverton nothing with 8:06 left first quarter. Then with 7:52 remaining in quarter number 1, Brendan Ishimura, pick 6, 35 yards out. Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 14, Riverton nothing with 7:52 remaining first quarter. Then 4:28 remaining in quarter number 1, a 38-yard touchdown pass from Brown to Ginnivan. Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 21, Riverton nothing with 4:28 left in the first quarter. Then on the final play of the first quarter, Jake Wilbert, a 45-yard touchdown run. The extra point attempt failed. It was Frontenac 27, Riverton nothing at the end of the first quarter. Then 9:39 remaining in the first half. Wilbert again from 47 yards out. Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 34, Riverton nothing with 9:39 left in the first half. 6:01 remaining in the first half. Cooper Loy scored from 2 yards out. Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 41, Riverton nothing with 6:01 left in the first half. Then with 4:21 remaining in the first half, Riverton scored a 5-yard touchdown pass from Boney to Will Shaver, and the extra point attempt failed. It was Frontenac 41, Riverton 6 with 4:21 remaining in the first half. And then 4:14 remaining in the first half. Pyle returned the onside kick 52 yards for a touchdown. Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 48, Riverton 6 with 4:14 remaining in the first half. And with 2:47 remaining in the first half, Alex Johnson scored from 2 yards out. The extra point attempt failed. It was Frontenac 54, Riverton nothing, 54-6. Frontenac led with 2:47 remaining in the first half. That was the half failed. It was 60-6. Frontenac led it with 3:19 remaining in the third quarter. That's the way the third quarter ended. Then Riverton scored with 8:18 remaining in the contest as Gilmore went in from a yard out. The extra point attempt failed. It was Frontenac 60, Riverton 12 with 8:18 remaining. Of course, running clock going rapidly in that fourth quarter, and Frontenac leaves with a 60-12 win. Again, to improve to 2-2 on the season. Riverton falls to 0-4, and the Raiders hit the road, go to Kansas City to take on Harmon next Friday, and the Rams at home against Baxter Springs next Friday. So game effort by the Rams. Raiders good bounce back after the loss 8 days ago to Colgan, and now you got to advance. You know, you got to win, give you some momentum this week, preparing for the trip to Kansas City. And I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and name the Kanar Eye Care Player of the Game. Kanar Eye Care, the clear choice. Dr. Shane Kanar, Chris Jacquino, optometrist. They have a location at 2521 North Broadway, 235-1737, or 111 North Summit and Girard, 724-4800. So Kanar Eye Care, the clear choice, the player of the game, and tonight's honor goes to
Peyton Brown tonight. And, you know, not necessarily a lot of yards on the ground or a lot of yards through the air, but 2 touchdown passes that he threw. But I thought his decision-making on, you know, the pass throw options or on the zone read that they ran tonight, straight option, and whether he kept it or pitched it, I thought Peyton had
player of the game, Kanar Eye Care, the clear. We're checking out the scoreboard, and I guess that'll give us time to, boy, a lot minus 17. Max Boney through the air, 4 completions, 10 attempts, 113 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions, 26 yards in a score. Drew Bollinger had 3 carries from Nix, a carry for 4, and Clay Jamison 1 for no game, as the score indicated. So the stats a little lopsided there in this 60-12 win for the Raiders over the Rams here tonight. And Mark Smith doing the obligatory newspaper interview right now, and I'll tell you what.
Did have one more update on Columbus and Colgan. It was a mid-4th quarter, and Columbus stopped Colgan on 4th and goal at the 1. Colgan appeared to score on 3rd down, but was ruled short by the officials. Didn't make it on 4th down. It's still 16-8 Columbus, middle to late 4th quarter.
Wow, so a battle going on at Hutch Field, and that's an interesting score. Did you get the Pittsburgh or of course, the Galena Girard was getting a little lopsided there late. So
the last score I've seen was 3rd quarter, Pittsburgh still up on top of Fort Scott, 19-13.
Waiting, we'll get some comments here. I'll be back. I'll pick it up.
Game is still 3rd quarter, Pittsburgh 26, Fort Scott 13. So the Dragons, and they were down early in that game, so able to make a comeback tonight were the Purple Dragons. So we continue to wait for Coach Smith to make his way up here. I'm sure he's going to be pretty pleased with the performance. There's all good coaches. I'm sure he's also going to be able to find some things they can still improve on. But overall, I think a good performance out of the Raiders tonight, and a lot of valuable experience for a lot of the underclassmen tonight. So, and again, the Raiders will be headed to Kansas City to play Harmon next week. Harmon in the middle of an 0-15 streak right now, but 5A school, much bigger school, and we'll see. If they've got some better athletes and everything that we don't normally see, and of course an offense and defense that we don't normally see. So it'll be interesting. And Coach Smith now coming on in, and Rob's letting me do the interview tonight. He wanted to go talk to his son. So,
oh, wow, big time.
Yeah, so good win tonight, Coach.
I thought we played a lot better. I thought we got off to a good start, which was important for our kids to just get their confidence going. I thought we had a lot more energy, and with that lead, you could just see our kids getting more and more confidence. We had some big plays on offense. Brennan had a pick 6 in that first quarter, so overall it was a great team effort, and I think our kids can build off of it.
Yeah, I thought the offensive line, maybe that first drive wasn't real sharp, but then they got the long pass to get them in to get on the board. You get the pick 6, you got the big lead. Then it seemed like the offensive line started to come around, and I saw some plays where, gosh, you could have drove a truck through the hole.
Oh, we did. We our counter play was working very well. Like that first possession, we had a few negative. We didn't pick up the linebacker, but after that, we talked about on the sideline where they were at, and we kind of adjusted to what they were doing, and that was good to see our kids understand their alignment and how we can make improvements. So that's a growth thing we haven't seen the first 3 weeks. So we just got to keep getting better. It's a step in the right direction, but we still got a lot of work to do.
And defensively, thought the starters in particular played really well and saw some kids really step up tonight. Andrew Mays, I thought, was really big in the first half. And Gage Clothier, much better with reading and reacting tonight and filling some holes.
Definitely. I thought the entire defense was more aggressive. They weren't thinking, they were just playing football. Mays, he's become one of our great leaders on the team, positive, works hard. Gage Clothier had a good game. Really important to see him do that. And I think overall we just played pretty well as a team, and it's good to see.
Any special plans for the road trip for next week? I know it's a long one, not the usual, not something we're used to unless it's late in the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought I told them they don't know anything about us. We don't know anything about them right now. So very important weekend to just gain our confidence for district play.
All right, congratulations, Coach, on a real big win tonight, and good luck next week.
Hey, thanks, Randy.
All right. That was Coach Mark Smith, and that will pretty well wrap us up from the Raiders Sports Complex. For Rob Strand, this is Randy Southern. You've been listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5. God. Dang, that's almost so. You know, they didn't quit.
No, they tried.
You know, and
they just got young guys out there.
We were watching that number 4.
He played hard.
Well, that 4, the quarterback that came in at the very end, he was throwing in warm-ups like, holy crap.
Ripping it around.
And I'm sitting there going, and you're going to run the wing tee with this kid next year?
Yeah. He's a freshman. Big old freshman.
Frontenac citizens enjoy a small-town atmosphere and all that a close-knit community has to offer. Situated on the crossroads of 2 major highways, those living in Frontenac can easily travel and enjoy the amenities of larger cities in a shorter travel distance. The community boasts an outstanding school system, low taxes, complete city services, including 24-hour police and fire protection. Good luck, Raiders, from the mayor, city council, and staff.